The Embassy of Cambodia, written by Zadie Smith, tells the story of a young woman that lives in Wilson, London. This story takes place in historical context of various events in 2012. Although the unfortunate events in Cambodia, a Southeast Asian country whose landscapes encompasses low plains, the Mekong Delta, mountains, and the Gulf of Thailand coast, occurred nearly 30 years ago, some vestiges of it are still present today.
Historical context deals with the details that surround an occurrence. In more technical terms, historical context refers to the social, religious, economic, and political conditions that exist during a certain time and place. Basically, it's all the details of the time and place in which a situation occurs. And those details are what enable us to interpret and analyze words or events of the past, or even the future, rather than merely judge them by contemporary standards. In this case, the Embassy of Cambodia.
The Cambodian genocide from 1975 to 1979 was one of the worst tragedies of the last century. Cambodia gained independence from France in 1953, after nearly 100 years of colonial rule. Power was given to Cambodia's Prince Sihanouk, and during his rule, civil war broke out in neighboring Vietnam between Communist North Vietnam and the South Vietnamese Army, which was aided by the US. Cambodia maintained neutrality, but in 1970, Prince Sihanouk was deposed in a military coup led by his own Cambodian lieutenant, General Lon Nol, a response to the turbulent political climate of Southeast Asia during this time. Lon Nol was made president of the new Khmer Republic, while Prince Sihanouk and his followers joined forces with a communist guerrilla organization known as the Khmer Rouge. Under the Marxist leader Pol Pot, the Khmer Rouge combined extremist ideology with ethnic animosity and a diabolical disregard for human life to produce repression, misery, and murder on a massive scale, as in the Ottoman Empire during the Armenian genocide and in Germany with the Nazis. Approximately 1.7 million people lost their lives, among them professionals such as doctors, lawyers, and police officers, in what could be classified as an intellectual massacre. Frequently, people were persecuted for wearing glasses or knowing a foreign language. The Khmer Rouge tried to take Cambodia back to Middle Ages, forcing millions of people from the cities to work on communal farms in the countryside.
The inhabitants of the city arriving in the countryside were a group and called new people, having as the only activity the planting of rice. They even changed the name of the country that passed as Democratic Kampuchea and called the 1975 the year zero. Under the slogan of keeping new people is not a benefit, losing them is not a loss, exploited workers with 12 hours of work with terrible working conditions, where even if someone was ill or could not work in the field, was forced to dig his own grave. Abandoned cities were degraded when they became prisons and extermination centers. One of the most famous prisons was the Dust Lane, where 20,000 prisoners lost their lives. Nowadays, it's a museum. Cambodia was a country protected by China and Thailand until between December 1978 and January of the following year, Vietnam, with the support of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, invaded the territory. The awareness of the Soviet presence allowed the Chinese to ask for support from countries like the United States of America and England. Both countries feared losing diplomatic relations with Chinese, so they didn't hesitate to help the Cambodians. Despite of the British bellica aid, Vietnamese forces triumphed by causing the regime to fall and the establishment of the People's Republic of Kampuchea. After several political comings and goings, and with the deaths of the Pol Pot in 1998, Cambodia was reconstituted as a monarchy.
In the United States, Barack Obama won the 57th quadrennial presidential election, thus starting his second term as president in 2012. Obama is an American politician and attorney who served as the 44th President of the United States. from 2009 to 2017. As a member of the Democratic Party, he was the first African American president of the United States. It's related to the embassy of Cambodia because it shows the difference between the countries in that moment. While in the United States was winning a respected black president who proposed fixing problems such as economic deficits or foreign conflicts, in England the people just thought on Olympic Games or the Queen's birthday, ignoring the problem who suffered the society, like Fatu, who live in bad terms with discrimination, free restricted, and unrespect. It's curious that in the same context in which an election of a black president is held and the Olympic Games are celebrated as a union between cultures and repudiation of discrimination, Fatu suffers segregation and wonders if she really is a slave in the society in which she lives. If you are interested on these topics, you can find more information in these following links.